Hello, this is Dara at Computational Class Notes, and I have the pleasure of introducing this magnificent design called the Clockwork Spider by Mr. Charles Catling. And he doesn't need any introduction, just look at the work. And I just run to the meat of this. So this is I've been looking for a spider like this for the longest time. And this is one of the rare, shall I say, species of the design that absolutely has caught my eye. What I want to do with this, Mr. Catling, and I'm sorry if I just run into the design stuff. I like the mechanisms inside to work correctly. So far as the mechanical design by a competent mechanical engineer is concerned, these have to work correctly. I have all the equations of the motions and analytical competence to do that, and the software and you name it. That's not the problem. The problem is me attaching proper software to proper gear. If you look at the first most important thing that should you agree and you're not obliged to is, if you look at the hierarchy on Unity editor, version 6.2.0 alpha 1, you notice that you called things by like cylinder 007, cylinder 003. If you could provide this in Blender, or another GLB file. This is your GLB file, lower resolution texture. If you can provide either GLB or the Blender file, that you can name this appropriately. If it's a gear, just call it gear 1, gear 2. Doesn't need to be any fancy nomenclature of any kind. I'm sorry, this is informal. I might sneeze and slurp some tea, so please forgive me. The idea is that once I make the gear to work, I would like this to be a building size, if not mountain size, which I'll show you pieces that I've done before. And it has to work correctly. These gears over here, my friend, I have a lump in my throat. These are absolutely one of the best I've seen. One of the best. I'm not just, what do you say? I'm not trying to egg you or anything. I don't do such things. Now, the dynamics of the spider, bending, kneeling, running, these are the key concepts of our interest, key core interest, which translate itself into very serious elementary to advanced education, which I will share with you some previous works. Before I go there, the materials, everything you put on this creature, this design, the glasses, everything flawlessly translated into Unity from your GLB file. Absolute congratulations, because usually I struggle for a day or two before I get one of these Mickey Freaky models these other designers give me. You have a very precise mindset, and I really do appreciate that. I do not know what precisely you do, but you're extremely professional, well-trained, and you absolutely in charge of your creativity, which is very pleasing to me. Now, these legs, like the example video I showed you, another robot dog thing, a video that some Boston something or the other technology was working on. I like to do those legs to work precisely just as robotic specifications. They're not that hard to do. The part that is hard to do is to attach the C# code to the appropriate limbs and gears and joints here. Notice that your design doesn't have any bones, which is good. So you did not start with some funky hardwire bone that only Unity uses. We can add bones ourselves if need be. If need did not be there, then I'll add virtual bones myself in my design. I have done that before too. So we can make a decision. If you add the bones in Blender 4.x or 5.x, we can translate them to Unity. I can then scan for those bones if you give them proper nomenclature. Sorry, I'm drinking tea because I'm not used to talking, so my throat dries up. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm sorry. So these gears will play a very important role, even if they are ornamentals, might not participate in actual movement of the creature. They're just being ornamental. That's fine. But what has to work correctly is these legs. The engine inside can be detached, it just does its own thing. These legs have to work properly. The mathematics, physics, geometry, algebra, programming of this would be provided as educational content. We will be very gladly willing to cooperate with you on that front, and we can discuss it later on. Let me just go from the under this creature. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Don't worry about the textures that are a bit, you can see a bit UV looking kind of mismatch. I don't care. This is supposed to be a industrial, gigantic building or mountain-sized creature, so I don't care about that. Cosmetics of this super already, okay? What I care about is to get the legs to work and then the torso to shake, rotate, jitter, and look right and left. Oh, the head. You have to make a decision whether the head is mobile. I don't think so. So in order for a creature to look this way, he has to use all his leg go skedaddle, 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 okay, to make a rotation like this. So the head and the body have to rotate at the same time. That's fantastic. If you have an idea how to rotate the head or the eyes, let me know. For example, I can give you code that this emitting material eyes over here are absolutely gorgeous. They would follow an enemy or an object. I can give you code that automatically does that. If you want these gears that you have attached to it to rotate and that will mean something, we can. If you have these gears designed for the eyes to change orientation, direction, I can do that too. But most important thing we need, the first thing we need to work one of these legs. If I can work the legs mechanics in terms of software algorithms, geometry, and all that, we are 90% through this work. There's not much else to discuss. After that, will be just making the mundane work. This design level, I mean, this is magnificent. If we can make this gear work, I'm just trying to zoom there. Apologies to you, Mr. Catling. If I can make this design work, I am not very good. Let me see. Nope. Let me go here. Nope. No, that's why. Just a minute. I am trying to go look at this gear from closer distance. Beautiful. I mean, I absolutely appreciate this. I know what this is. I know the effort that goes into this. I just can't get it. I don't want to right now do surgeries on your thing, but my camera's Fostrom or whatever it's called is doesn't let me zoom in as I want. Excuse me, see if I can. No, it doesn't let me. It's a camera problem. It's not your problem. If I can get this gear to work correctly, that way it will rotate, and then it will rotate this leg over here, even if some mechanical connections are missing. However, the mathematics will work fine. Then we are very happy because then we can teach the proper robotics mechanics using this model, and this will be most valuable. Plus, it's not a boring model. It's actually very, very exotic. Now, that all being said, I sent you some videos of these cities that the characters will live on. You can, if you like, in future, if this worked, we can actually create compartments here where you can make other characters, creatures autonomous or under user control. If you notice that you don't need to add additional equipment here to connect these gears to these. Just leave them for now. We keep them independent. The code would assume there is connection between them. That's not important right now. Okay, so I guess I'm going to stop here. And then you mentioned something about some of your meshes and manifolds are not fully triangulated. They may be polygonized. That's a list of the problem right now. Most important I need is proper nomenclature and collection and understanding how these pieces are fit together, like these, like these over here, the gears. Once I have that and their mechanics, I would just go to any mechanical robotics gear handbook and pick up the equations or whatnot. And then what we do is that we do the educational engineering computation part first. And then what will happen? Here on the right-hand side where you see an inspector, over there, for example, for cylinder 066, hopefully we'll have a different name, we will go there and we would automatically add a component here, like you can see here. Let me see. No, I don't think you can see it. My window is too small. Sorry about that. This add component button over here can be triggered, clicked on by the software, so to say, and the software would add C# programs, classes, that would then add the mechanical equations of the motions for the gears. And that way this creature would be able to move his limbs, and then the issue of navigation would be another piece of software that would actuate the gear at different times so that it can do all kinds of different motions. But the animations should not come from the animator. The animations are procedural, should come from pieces of code attached to the creature. For now, I stop here and wish you all the best, and thank you for your generosity to share this amazing, beautiful design of yours, and hopefully we will not disappoint. Thank you very much.